I'm here to take over the game. Yeah. Still. Ain't know what's going on. Yeah. It's still politics as usual. Life looking beautiful. Talking real heavy. More heavy than the usual. Shook the whole world up. That type of motion new to you. So it's just a throwback. Losing, we don't know that. Only give them all facts. That's exactly what y'all lack. Always show the people love, so they show us love back. Yeah. And Ben Worthy like 42 on the Lakers.
And once again, it's on. We are back. Season 2 of Politics as Usual, the premier NBA podcast. Y'all tried to cancel us. We're uncancelable. Y'all tried to stop us. We can't be stopped. They tried to that energizes us. We are back. I am not here alone. I'm here with my main man, Pots and Pans, the man that always says Jack, the one and only Adam Carter. What's up, good brother?
What's up, Jack? Season 2. Can you believe it? We made it to another season.
Yeah, man. Listen, before y'all get going, make sure you subscribe. At YouTube, we need to see them subscriptions go through the roof. Follow us at Politics as Usual Talk on all the social medias. We got a lot to get to, a lot going on. It's still the preseason. We got about, 6 days until opening night. But we got some content we want to share with y'all tonight. What we got on the docket today, Jack?
Let's jump right in, Jack. So we're going to start the episode season 2, episode 1 with some rather sad news. The NBA lost a legend, Jack. Dikembe Mutombo passed away on September 30th, Jack. That was a major blow. He passed away from brain cancer of all things. Let's run down a little bit of his resume, Jack. So we got an 8-time All-Star. We got a 4-time Defensive Player of the Year, 2-time Citizenship Award, 3 times All Defensive First Team, 2-time Rebounding Leader, and 3 times Block Leader. That's an incredible resume, Jack.
Yeah, man, and you know he was even greater off the court, funding hospitals and really. Luol Deng, who was also from the continent, talks about how Mutombo really inspired all those ball players to really affect change. And you see, Luol Deng is got that team going, almost beat the U.S.
Right,
and we have a special affection for Mutombo because he was on that finals run for the Sixers, man. Remember that trade? I was upset at that trade because we was rolling with Ratliff.
Listen. I still say, what if the Dikembe Mutombo and Theo Ratliff trade didn't happen, but Theo Ratliff got hurt that season, man. And the crazy thing enough, ironically, Theo Ratliff had just closed on his house the day that he got traded for Dikembe Mutombo.
Man.
Buying a house and then find out you're getting traded. But Dikembe Mutombo ended up buying the house from Theo Ratliff. So.
Man, listen. That should have been the fact of the week right there. That was amazing what you just dropped. And I remember a funny story that we talked about in pre-show that Bomani Jones had on Alonzo Mourning on the show they used to do with Dan Lebertar, and he said, "Is it true that Mutombo used to come y'all with students at Georgetown and said, 'Who wants to sex Mutombo?'" Yo, and Mourning laughed for 5 minutes straight, letting me know that even though Mutombo said it wasn't true, it was all facts. Can you imagine them two?
Terrified everybody that was in that area at the time. Can you imagine Mutombo saying that?
Yo, man, I was falling out. Can you imagine them two on the court? How is anybody scoring when Alonzo Mourning is the power forward and Mutombo's the center? That is insane, man.
You talking about a defensive squad, and you already got the coach who's a defensive coach. Incredible.
Yeah, man. And that was a great they have a great, I know those guys really going through it. Ewing and Harrington, Mutombo and Mourning, those Georgetown guys, AI as well, has they have a great bond, man. So man, he was greatly missed, one of the greatest personalities in the NBA history, man, and his work and legacy will definitely live on. So rest in power to the great. I was going to try to memorize all his 8 names, but I'll stick with the two we know.
I saw that he had
Dikembe
8 names, and
Mutombo.
I said I wouldn't dare try. I'm not going to dare try.
Yes,
But
sir.
yeah, man, rest in peace to Dikembe
Mhm.
Mutombo, man. He would definitely be missed. So let's move on, Jack. So the NBA was, I guess, it wasn't too much of a surprise, but Derrick Rose made the
Mm.
announcement that he was retiring from the
Yeah.
NBA. He had just recently got dismissed by the Memphis Grizzlies, and I guess he said, "Man, enough is enough." Um, Great athlete, heck of a player, Jack. Let's run down first pick of the 2008 draft. Uh,
Mm.
Man, he played for the Bulls, the Knicks, the Cavs, the Jazz, the T-Wolves, the Pistons, and the Grizzlies, Jack. 2009 Rookie of the Year and
Yeah.
2011 MVP, Jack. What could have been? He's on that list of players with Penny
Yeah,
Hardaway
man.
and Grant Hill of,
Yeah.
man, what could they have been if he didn't suffer that injury, Jack?
And I think if my memory serves me correctly, he may have been the youngest MVP. He won that like
Huh?
2 years out, stopping LeBron's streak of MVPs. That was he was incredible. Everybody talk about Westbrook, but I think the template for before there was a there was D
Hmm.
Rose. Man, he was one of my favorite players, man. Explosive, man. His highlight reels, oh wow, man. And to see him be on his terms and really see the kind of seeing him at the games with his son, he looks at peace. So
Right,
man, no regrets, man. Even though he didn't get into the all-time greats like we thought he may have get because of injuries.
right.
Man, he really had a great career, a lot of time in the league, man, and he is and if I'm a organization, one of those
Hmm.
former organizations he played with, got to bring him in. He seems to be a great guy, well respected around the league.
Yeah, and I think the Chicago Bulls would be that team. They are
Yes.
kind of in a weird space right now with their franchise, and like you said, winning the Rookie of the Year in 2009, and then turning right around 2 years later in 2011 and winning the
Mm,
MVP. Incredible over LeBron James, right?
crazy.
Yeah,
And being a
incredible.
Chicago native too, don't hurt.
Yeah, and if you
Yeah.
think about it, he was known for, like you said, his athletic ability early on in his career, but later on in his early on in his career, but later on in his career, he was kind of like that pillar of strength and like, somebody that doesn't give up. He stood in there, man. He
Yeah,
didn't quite
man.
have the same bounce that he had
Yeah.
later in his career, but he still persevered and had a decent career, Jack.
Yeah, brother. And one thing I didn't like about his career, he didn't dance when they was dancing in the All-Star game. He should bust a move. Okay. That was me, how to
LeBron and
stop LeBron
Dwight
crazy.
Howard, and
He was
he was
stone
having
faced.
none of that. He was having none of that.
Yo,
He
it
was
was
having none of that.
that's one of the most hilarious things I've ever seen. Him not caring about dancing with them. No fun there. He
No
look
fun.
like he can have fun now. Look like he toned it down a little bit. He was intense, man. He
And
was intense.
listen, and you know what? I saw an interview just yesterday, and it's funny that we're talking about that because he said early on in his career, he used to try to emulate Kobe. And he said, as far as he understood, Kobe didn't go out, he didn't have fun, he just worked. So he said it wasn't until the lockout. Remember when the NBA had that lockout? He said a billionaire from Dubai was paying top dollar to have all the NBA stars go over to Dubai to play in like an all-star game. And he said it wasn't until he said Durant was there, James Harden, LeBron, Kobe. He said all the stars were over there. He said it wasn't until he got to Dubai, he saw Kobe having fun, saw Kobe relaxing, letting his hair down, going out in the club. He said, man, this guy goes out in the club too. Changed his career, he said. Changed his career. So I think that's why he was so
That
serious when
explains
he was trying to emulate the great Mamba.
that explains it. That explains it. Salute
But like
to D Rose.
absolutely, but like I said, he played for the Detroit Pistons. That joke just writes itself. We're going to leave the Detroit. This has nothing to do with nothing. How many games does the Detroit Pistons win this year, Jack? How many
I
games?
know they're gonna lose at least 1,000.
Oh,
They
Not
only play 82, but to me, it looks like they're gonna lose 1,000. They're losing in the preseason game against Cleveland right now.
oh my God. And listen, it's funny. And again, this has nothing to do with anything. But we were talking about before the show how somebody posted, let's go ahead and get this out the way. The Washington Wizards are already out of playoff contention.
Yo, Kuzma and I forget his name. Kuzma and Jordan Poole. Them
Oh
two.
my God.
Yo, I want a 30 for 30
so
on their
fucking
antics. Somebody
serious.
needs to be documenting this. I don't care what's going on in the court. I need to know how they be acting in practice. It must be, as you would say, so unserious.
Listen, Jordan Poole better not start the season with that mustache. I know that. He has to change
It
up
was
the
downhill from there. Yo, he looked like a cop. Looking like the
Once he did
fuzz.
Docker commercials and had the mustache, I was done. I was done with him. But as we digress, but shout out to D Rose, man. A heck of
Most
a
definitely.
36 years old, Jack, when he retired, man. So shout out to him.
Yes.
All right, Jack. Let's move on to a big trade that we had a couple weeks ago, Jack. The New York Knicks and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Big trade, Jack. They traded Karl Anthony Towns for Julius Randle, switching things up in the East and the West, Jack. So Karl Anthony Towns went to the New York Knicks. Julius Randle went to the Wolves along with Dante DiVincenzo, one of those Villanova boys. So they break up the Villanova crew slightly, but I think both teams get better in that trade, Jack.
Yeah, man, such a surprise. I think everybody was surprised. This made me one of those trades that nobody knew what was going to happen until it happened. And they say the Timberwolves did it because the money's getting funny, and they can't keep him and Nas Reed coming up. So somebody had to go to odd man out, and I think they traded Towns because nobody really wanted Gobert. That's the one. That's the albatross around the neck they really want to get rid of. Not because he's not a good player, but that contract is insane. He probably making $60 million this year. So that kind of forced their hand. And but I really like it for both teams. I didn't like it as a Sixers fan to see Cat come over. Like the Knicks need somebody else. But the Knicks don't have as much depth. So it's gonna be a different team because they're gonna be, I believe, more offensive oriented.
Yeah.
This year. Now, not going to be like those stoppers because they had to trade those pieces away. But I see, man, and they was getting spicy Sunday night already. DiVincenzo fighting Rick Brunson, Jalen Brunson's dad. He was talking crazy after foul line. I said, "Wasn't you just in the Jalen's wedding?" That's gonna be a rivalry.
Isn't that your friend's dad?
Yo, I didn't know you could do that. If you can do that, that lets me know I should have been dove on Gary Bowers, Mr. Middleton. I should have been. Shout out to those two gentlemen.
Shout out to those
guys. I should have been trying to come at these guys. I know you can do that.
Out to those guys. Listen, oh man, but that's crazy though, man. And it's and Thibodeau's teams are typically known for defense and playing a lot of minutes. But for defense and those, tough guys, and it's going to be interesting to see how Cat fits into that system because he's not so much of a tough guy to me. Like, you know what I mean? He's not so much.
He's going to have to guard Embiid. Like with the Timberwolves, he had an option. That's probably the best thing that happened to him because Gobert could take those guys.
Right.
He's going to have to guard those bigs, which is going to be interesting to watch. Like Porzingis, when he comes back, he's got to guard him now.
Yeah, and like I said, he's got to get some of that New York grit, Jack. New York teams are known for being gritty, and I just don't know if Cat has that in him. Have you ever heard Cat have interviews where his voice tends to change?
Different voices.
And that's all that.
Yo, you from Jersey? You don't talk like that. yo, listen. One thing, let them slump. And New York, that media, buddy.
Ooh,
He gonna be
man,
on the
Jack.
front of the paper. So
Oh,
but I think, hopefully they give him a grace period. But I like Minnesota getting DiVincenzo. Any shooting around the defensive guy and the shooter around Ant, and people forgetting that, man, Julius Randle's putting up 25 and 10 before he got hurt.
Right. And it kind of gives Minnesota a different look. So Rudy Gobert gets the opportunity to. What is this?
Yo, that's a good one there, dude.
We need Oakley on the payroll to toughen him up.
Immediately.
Shout out to Duber. Yeah, because they definitely need Oakley on that team to throw some bows.
Yes. That's it. They need him. Go find John Starks. Yo. Plus, everybody's so tough. The former players that watch the game, Pat Ewing in the organization. Yo, Pat got a lot of pressure on him.
Yeah, but what do you think about the look on the other side, Jack? Though, like Wolves were a totally different team, Jack.
I like the Wolves.
Kind of puts all the eggs in one basket with Ant-Man. They bet on Reed, but they're also saying that we believe he's the guy. He's the next one. And I was watching that starting five, Jack. I don't know if you checked it out on Netflix. Yes, and you forget that he's like 22. He's like he's still a kid. He's still a kid. Like but man, you're talking about a talent. And Randle brings a different style of play to that team. And like you said, DiVincenzo, he brings something to that team, Jack. I think it's a win for both sides.
Conley, this may be a win-win trade.
Yeah.
It's going to be like the Sabonis Halliburton, a win-win.
Incredible, Jack. So it's going to be fun to see come playoff time.
Back in the building. Remember they threw him on the ground last time?
Crazy.
That was
wild. Crazy, Jack. But that was a big trade, Jack. Looking forward to seeing how that plays out for both teams because, like I said, seems like a win-win for both. So not only am I the guy that always says Jack, I am also the segue king. So speaking of both, both of LeBron James Sr. and LeBron James Jr., making history, Jack, as the first father and son to play not only in the NBA at the same time, Jack, but they play on the same team, Jack. So on October 6th, they made history against the Phoenix Suns playing together in that second quarter.
Incredible, man. First of all, who could, they were showing them pictures when Bronny's a baby, like his first 2 years. Guy lasted that long.
Can you imagine?
He's so good. He's starting over his son. That's not how that's supposed to be. When you're in the backyard, when your dad hits 40, you 20. This is your era.
Yeah,
this guy.
Not only is he the leader of the team, he's still considered the best player in the NBA.
Ain't that crazy?
Wow, at 39, get ready to be 40.
I was looking at his highlights against the Warriors today, seeing him just running and jump around that court. I said, he's gotta fake it so Bronny can get in more. He's playing too good. But they're saying that they're gonna put him out that first game to get the pressure off. I would do that.
Yeah, gotta get it out the way.
Put him in, because just the media and all that, you don't want it to be a distraction for the whole season. But this is significant, man. I remember because I'm a baseball guy when Ken Griffey was playing with his daddy. And Ken Griffey, it wasn't even a comparison. He was probably the best player in the league with Bonds already when he's playing with his dad. But this is totally different because the dad is insane. He mess around. He gonna be playing in the WNBA with Zori. He's headed.
Joanna Bron.
Joanna Bron. Hashtag Joanna Bron.
Hashtag Joanna Bron.
That is the one. That's a classic. Yeah, man. But I love to see it, man. This is amazing, man. Remember a couple years ago, he was like, "Ain't no way that's gonna happen." LeBron looks like he got 5 more years.
Absolutely. I mean, you think
I don't understand it.
take your son to work day. I mean, like he's doing the whole season, Jack. Like, can you imagine, Jack? Like, I mean, the life in the NBA comes with
Yeah.
certain perks. Let's put it like
Yes.
that. The females and
Yeah.
yada yada yada. Imagine your dad's over there, though. Your dad's watching, like, not that one.
I'm gonna tell your mama.
I'm telling your mom.
You know?
I'm telling your mom. You better not.
Yo, she got 2 people watching in the locker room. Oh my goodness. You know, because Bron can't do nothing no more.
Yeah.
Eating right. He better
Oh,
be.
yeah.
Bronny go right to the phone.
Because Bronny right over there biting his nails. Look, like, I'm telling. I'm gonna tell mom. You keep it up. Say something else. I'm telling mom.
Yo, this is incredible, man. And they gonna make me get the league pass because you just watch this amazing. This is a crazy story, man.
Yeah, man. But it's a lot of pressure on Bronny, though, man. I mean, his dad had a crazy amount of pressure coming in as the chosen one and things of that nature. But coming into the NBA as a chosen one son, with not the same path and not playing so much last year in college, he's going to have to earn that spot, Jack. So I hope.
You know what I would have did about him?
Challenge.
As soon as I hit 18, I'd have changed my name to Tyrone James, Thomas James, Raphael James, Leonardo James. There's no way I'm going to be running around. Lamont James. There's no way I'm running around with that name.
And even if you shorten it to Bronny, we know what it stands for.
We know.
And then the back of your jersey says James Jr. Like, so, and your dad, you stand next to your dad, it just says James. Like, we know your daddy.
If he'd have hit that 3, if he had hit that 3, they would have exploded. They'd have tore that building down.
Oh man, I mean, there's some talent there, Jack, but it's the pressure. It's the pressure.
Oh yeah. I think he can be a good player.
Yeah,
he doesn't get the freedom
of going out there and just playing. What other 50-second pick is doing interviews and doing this and doing that?
We've never known them. Like, man, we didn't know the Joker. He was a second round pick. You know, them second rounds, a bunch of second round picks we didn't know till a couple years later. But we know this one.
That draft, Jack, where when they drafted the Joker, do you know what was happening when the Joker was getting drafted?
What was happening?
A Taco Bell commercial. They didn't even air it. That's another fact. I'm dropping all types of facts within the.
I'm about to say, man, you barring it up tonight. Do you think they sent him to the G League?
Eventually, I think after the first couple of games, he just needs to play.
It's hard. I'm about to say, and that's like, man, it's hard. Even though it's gonna be hard for him to get minutes at that guard spot. D'Lo, Reeves. Hopefully, man, if they get a healthy Gabe Vincent,
right?
They could use that. So he's kind of the last man on the rotation. But man, I want to see that. I'm gonna be tuned in for that first game. I think they play the Wolves on opening night.
Yeah, I believe they do.
I'll be watching that.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun to see, Jack. So let's move on, Jack. This past week or so, we had the NBA Hall of Fame, Jack. We had a couple inductees that are household names. We had Vince Carter, Chauncey Billups, Michael Cooper of those 80s Lakers, Simone Augustus, Doug Collins, and Jerry West, Jack. How about this? Jerry West went in as an executive this time. He's the first inductee to go in 3 separate times. This is the 3rd time that he's going into the Hall of Fame for different things, Jack. So
that's unbelievable.
Incredible resume. You're the logo and you're the first person that
deserves, man.
Hall of Fame 3 times.
And when it comes to players, this wasn't, as strong of a class as we may have seen before. But if I was Chauncey Billups, I would have told the Detroit Pistons, I'm not coming through that door this season. I can't save you. But it was good to see Jordan there. And shout out to Marty Eggleston, who got a picture with Jordan. God, that's Jordan don't be he ain't gonna take no picture with you. You got to be he must have been drinking good. Them stogies must have been right.
Good Cuban cigar.
Ain't a lot of selfies with Jordan. But see Vince
homie,
get in
we're gonna
was
need you to come
definitely
on one day to tell that story of how you got the picture. Like that's the
gotta
story.
Get him on this season. Yeah, man. But to see those players and I think, man, those gold Hall of Fame jackets are fuego. They got the best jacket. Oh, I love them jackets. And one of these days, man, we're gonna hit up there, see who's next year, so we can get some tickets up there to see all the activities. But I like the night before Hall of Fame because they put Ahmad Rashad, Willow Bay, Christian Ledlow, and Grant Hill for NBA inside stuff. And if you grew up in the 80s and 90s, Saturday morning watching them was amazing. Ahmad Rashad, that's still probably the best NBA show, at least my favorite. He was getting all the top talent every Saturday to do stuff, man. That was a great show.
Him and Jordan were like this, Jack. Him and Jordan
got tight, yeah, man.
Tight, Jack, yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Incredible. Any names stick out in that Hall of Fame class that makes you say,
I thought Coop was interesting. I thought Coop would have, he probably not when. Here's what's crazy because the game has changed so much. When you put his numbers up, they're gonna look like he's not even better than the average player that I heard. No, he wasn't a scorer, but he was the first defensive player, 6-man, 5 rings on all the, so I think he holds up. There's just not as many household landmark names. Like, that one class you put in Kobe, Dirk and Garnett and Duncan and them going in like at the same time. That's crazy. But Vince Carter will deserve, Vince Carter, because of his dunking prowess, really his career is slept on.
Right.
And because he was up, man. Remember, man, he was a 3-pointer away from going to the finals, like going to the conference finals. That would have changed it because they probably beat the Bucks. He'd go against the Lakers, and he had sort of the same kind of legacy AI has.
Yeah,
he was,
and that would have been fun to see a young Kobe and Vince Carter, who was probably more of a star.
He was the guy.
Kobe Bryant, yeah. So it would have been interesting to see Kobe and Vince Carter match up in the finals. But
and then retired both his numbers. Is that the first time ever 2 different teams retiring one person's number in the same year?
Who's that? Who they're doing
the
that
Raptors is retiring Carter's number and the Nets.
Well, Kobe had 2 numbers.
2 numbers. But Vince probably 2 different teams.
Is that deserving though? Like, is
he
deserving?
I don't know about the Nets. I gotta do that because when I think of the Nets, I think of Jason Kidd.
Right.
Because they wasn't going to. They was going to the. I don't think they was that good yet. With I remember Richard Jefferson and Kidd when they was losing to the Lakers because Vince never been to the finals, and he wasn't on those teams.
No.
But that's always shaky. I said, well, he played for 12 teams. He figured one of them going to retire his number. Somebody got to do it.
A long career,
much love and respect to all those, especially Doug Collins, another Sixer guy. He was a great. He's such a great basketball contributor. He can say he really launched Jordan. Jordan didn't want Phil Jackson because Phil Collins said, "Shoot it every time you get it.
You touch it, you shoot it.
Shoot it every time you get it." He was a great coach, and I really miss. I wish he get back on doing the commentating. He was a great commentator, man, great analyst. So shout out to Collins and everybody else who got on in.
Yes, sir, Jack. So let's move on, Jack. So for Sixer fans like ourselves, shout out to the Sixers. You're repping them today. Scary the other night, Jack. On 10-14, Jack, against the Hawks. Paul George took a weird turn and fell to the ground, grasping at his knee, Jack, and most Sixer fans thought there goes the season, Jack. So thank God that it was announced today that it was only a bone bruise, Jack, and there's no structural damage, Jack. So that was terrifying, Jack. Thought it was over before it started.
As soon as I heard it, I was just winning to pray. I just called up all the clergy. I called up my Muslim friends, my Jewish friends, my Hindu friends. I said, we got to get together. Everything's in jeopardy. But I was, and here's what's funny. They couldn't wait to send it to me. I got up in the morning. Everybody couldn't wait to just see what happened. I was like, yo. But when I heard that he was, he walked off on his own strength, I said, big plus. Today, no structural damage, no little soreness there. But man, I like how he looks with Maxey.
Yeah,
small sample size, I like it.
Listen, I think come March,
buddy,
January, like February, March, when they get a couple months of practicing and playing together, man, they are, regardless of anything else going on, they are going to be scary.
Caleb Martin, he's tough.
Yeah.
Tough. Yeah. He's tough. I like that. I love Eric. I forgot we had Eric Gordon.
Yeah. He was another pickup.
They put a roster together, man. Only thing, the Penguin was down there getting rebounds. Andre Drummond, the Penguin.
The Penguin.
I like that 60. Only thing
Drummond was missed.
I wish we had a Paul Reed, just a bruiser at 4, at power forward. They probably can grab somebody. I just need somebody like that dude up there in Boston. I forget that. Autumn. I just always think you need somebody who can come in and foul.
Foul hard.
Hit
him with a hard.
They just a little too small. When I was looking at that lineup, they had the starting lineup. They had Drummond, Gordon, George, Maxey. Who am I missing? I was like, man, that's a small team. And when you go up against the likes of they're gonna have to have a larger team to play against Boston. And Giannis. Giannis putting out Giannis and Lopez. So they can get away with it with some other teams, but who's gonna stick Giannis and Lopez? So but thankfully Paul George is he's gonna recover, probably still make his debut against the Bucks.
Yeah, Jack. And they need to be cautious, Jack, because they don't want to lose Paul George. And segue to our next segment. It was already announced by the big fella Embiid that he says, I don't think I'll play any back-to-backs for the rest of my career. I said, oh my God. No, no.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Danger!
Oh my God.
The East is in the house when he heard that. And I'm like, you know who also said that? The Sixers PR. And after he said, they was like, yo, that's between us. That's
you weren't supposed to say that.
You ain't never hear Kawhi say that, even though we know it ain't gonna happen. He's never said out of his mouth, I don't do back-to-backs. You're not supposed to say it. And you always supposed to be thinking, maybe I'll progress and heal. Yeah. Because there come a time we're going to need those back-to-backs. Like, he can't really, Sixers can't skate through the season with Boston and New York. And you think that the Bucks is going to be slouches? Right. Cleveland, man, they're gonna need to get the 3rd spot, because if they don't get the 4th spot, they're gonna probably play Boston in the 2nd round again, who we want to avoid for as long as we can.
At all costs.
We don't want to hear no back-to-backs yet. We don't mind if y'all do it, but just him saying it was a lot.
Yeah, and it's funny, Jack, when before we came on, I was telling the twins what we were going to talk about tonight. And I said, yeah, Embiid's not doing back-to-backs. And they said, well, how are we supposed to decide which Sixers game we going to go to? Great point. We go to a Sixers game.
About that, man. God,
I gotta see the pattern first before I decide which ticket I'm going to buy, Jack.
That's what the organization probably said, yo, you messing up tickets. Because I was looking at trying to get some season joints. As soon as he said that, I said, I'm gonna wait case by case. just like the Twins. So case by case, we have to find out at 6 o'clock. We got to rush down there. We playing today. Let's get down there.
At the box office. At the box office. Is he playing? All right, kids, get back in the car.
He ain't playing. Turn the radio on. 6:10.
We was just going for a ride. We listened to it on the way home.
Oh, I said I need him. Somebody made. I think Kendrick Perkins made a great point. He said they're going to have to play at least 50 games with the big three together to really, because some games, we can't give games away. We saw last year how they was in third place. He got hurt. We was in a play-in almost. So he's a big. Well, Paul George is going to take a lot of that, but we got to be cautious with him. So I need them to manage it, but let's not tell everybody what it is, because you're going to have to play some if it gets tight. Like if we're in the end of the season and you got to win the last 3 games to get the second seed, so we don't see Boston. You're going to have to play those games.
Yeah, you want to play all 3 of those.
Yeah.
And I get, the idea of like there's going to be some games that he doesn't play back-to-back. Say that he's not going to play any. Ever. That was definitely an inside conversation that he spilled the beans. Like he definitely was not supposed to say that.
I guarantee you, next Tuesday night, when Shaq, Kenny, and Ernie and Barkley get on the mic, that's going to be one of the first things they got jokes on. Is that one?
Shaq doesn't like that when a big man is not holding up to the big man code.
G4 classification.
Man, Shaq doesn't like that. Shaq doesn't like that, Jack. So they're going to definitely be talking about that, Jack.
That's a
coming next week, Jack. Can you believe? That is the we're coming to the last segment of season 2, episode 1. So you know what time it is, Jack. Segment of the week. That's Jack stat of the week. Jack, I've been dropping bombs. I've been dropping jewels all night. I don't even know if I should give y'all one, but I got one. So earlier in the show, we talked about Bron and Bronny being the first father and son to play together in the NBA at the same time. But they got me to thinking, Jack, how many other father-son tandems have we had? Not at the same time, but just a father that played and eventually a son came along.
That's easy. George Gervin Jr.
How many do we have? George Gervin Jr.
Dr. J Jr.
So how many father and sons have we had in the NBA all time? I'll give you 2 guesses. You ain't gonna be able to count it.
4.
99, Jack. If you think about it, Bron and Brandi are the 99.
99.
Father and son. Oh my God! You think about it. Tim Hardaway Jr., Hardaway, George Mikan's son played in the NBA.
Mikan's son?
My God, I had the list up. I think I took
Clyde Drexler Jr. Just yelling out random juniors.
Jeffrey Jordan. Nah, they didn't make it. Bron got you there, Jordan. Got you there.
Brandi way better than those dudes.
But yeah, they are the 99th father and son.
Same number. I didn't think it would be that high.
Yes. Before Brandi and Bron, it was 98. I said, wow. I said it would have been incredible if they were the 100th. Like that would have been LeBron's.
Bron and Bryce.
Bron and Bryce. They're going to be the
99 and 100.
Yeah, Jack. So 99, Jack. So 98 other father and sons that have played in the NBA. That's incredible, Jack. So that is this week's first. That's a fact, Jack. Stat of the week. And just like that, Jack, that's a wrap. Episode 1, Jack. So you know what's time for? It's time for those shout outs, Jack. Who you shouting out?
I got 2 today. I want to thank my girl Elle from the Curry brand, who gave me the advanced Curry 12 Gravities.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I love them. I love the silhouette. They are so comfortable. I'm a big fan of the Curry brand. I want to thank Elle for these, and I want to give a shout out also to my girl Alexandria Clark, who invited me to come up there. They're having a session at the Nike headquarters for Adam Silver and the Engelberry, who is the commissioner for the WNBA, is there with the new Nike CEO. I'm trying to mosey my way in there so they can drop stuff on us, and I'll be showing it on the show, so they can give us some sponsorship money. Always working for the show. The shout out to Elle and my girl Alex for looking out for a brother.
All right, Jack. So I got a couple shout outs today, Jack. So first, we want to shout out to a new company, Jack. So shout out to K3 Shirts and our boy TJ Boggs.
Yes,
you will hear more from K3 Shirts, but shout out to TJ Boggs and his new endeavor with K3 Shirts. And you never know, you may see the two good brothers lined up in there somehow, some way. So stay tuned.
Yeah, if they just follow me on Instagram, I was like, "Who is this?" I thought it was spam.
Shout out to TJ, Jack. And next, Jack, I want to shout out to Taraji Break, Jack. He's a local kid, Jack. He's one of those kids that he did not go to Coatesville, but he's a local kid that went to St. Peter's. He's in that same class with Jig and Pre and AJ. He brought a tour down to Coatesville this summer, the MGM Live Tour, Jack, where it's kind of like N1 basketball. They did a live tour and they came to Coatesville, Jack, and they put on the show. So MGM Live Tour with Markel Wansley.
Nice.
So they came down and they put on a show, Jack. Brought the whole city out. You got to check it out on YouTube, Jack. But it was incredible to be in, and they put on for the city. So shout out to you, Taraji, for bringing the tour down to Coatesville.
Yeah, man. Listen, make sure y'all follow us on all the social media platforms at Politics As Usual Talk. So you subscribe, and we'll be going live every Wednesday, and we'll have some guests on, some writers who are covering the league. I can't wait to get some of my New York Bulls on, because they swear they go to the finals. So it's going to be electric. But before we leave, I want to know, do you have anything smart to say tonight?
The brown dog is not really brown. It's a tan dog in the dark.
Came here to take over the game. Yeah. Stout. Still. You know what's going on. Yeah. It's still politics as usual. Life looking beautiful. Talking real heavy. More heavy than the usual. Shook the whole world up. That type of motion new to you. To us it's a throwback. Losing, we don't know that. Only give them our facts. That's exactly what y'all lack. Always show the people love, so they show us love back. Yeah. And been worthy like